In the first corner, we have Cameron's lover. In the other corner, his best friend. That's right, folks. It's the William and Mary, episode.
This is SpongeBob.
This audio's not looking good.
We're all bopping our heads. Don't even worry about it, audience. You can just imagine that.
Snoop Dogg is in the frame. The William and Mary logo is bopping along with it.
Go try.
Tribe? Of what? Thomas Jefferson?
We're not allowed to say.
Nice.
No, don't turn it off.
Oh no.
It's really good to hear that you've become Cameron's lover. Clara, how's the best friend position?
Oh, he's
Good idea.
How do you feel about Jared?
Is a brain trust. Your brain.
Hey, I'm in the middle of a conversation
right.
with Cameron's best friend about...
Is a brain trust your brain
Jared,
can trust?
now hold on.
It's a comedy
I want to hear more
podcast
about your position
where we
as Cameron's
find
lover.
creative, actionable solutions to your real-life problems.
I'm Aiden Kinsella.
I'm Bradley Berklich.
I'm Cameron's lover.
and I'm just Clara. Like Adele or like Bono.
And this is Good Idea.
Jared, you do have to introduce yourself still.
All right, I'm Cameron's lover, Jared Rose.
All right, there we go. So I'm going to just isolate that audio bite, and that's my ringtone now.
I'm going to get that on a megaphone, so when Cameron finally comes to college, I'm just going to play that outside of Clara's dorm on, like, about 6 a.m. I think it'll be great.
I'm going to make
That'd
a
be good.
TikTok of it. it's like zooms in on my face, and it's the first 14 seconds is that, and then the last second is, I'm Cameron's lover, Jared Rose.
All right. Nice.
That's my TikTok idea. Come to me for more TikTok ideas so you could be famous on the internet.
So we've got Jared and Clara with us today in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's
The studio.
I've renamed
What a
Yeah.
studio!
I've renamed my basement.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's very douchey. I do not like the neon sign you put up in front of the door.
and all the soundproof Legos. Like,
Oh.
it's literally built out of Legos at this
It's
point.
really built out of Legos at this point.
Thank God I'm short.
Kind of want to jump right into a prompt. Is that okay? Unless anyone has any good stories from the week they want to share.
Oh, okay. Here, I have a thing, which is I showed up an hour early to pick up Jared.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just didn't know what time it was. My computer's still set on Ohio time, which is Eastern, so it's an hour ahead of everything else. So I was on it, and then I left an hour early. So I went to Jared's house and was like, "Am here." Oh, fuck. And then I left. So then I went to Target, because I have a $50 gift card. And I tried to buy at Target an eBay gift card for $50 with my $50 Target gift card.
They don't let you do that.
No, they don't let you do that. So and by the time I had finished arguing, it was 6:45, and I ran to my car to go pick up Jared. So that was my fun story of the day. How about y'all?
Well, I have a similar story, which was I was about to get picked up for a thing, and the person texted me, "Am here," and then I go outside, and then I get an "oh fuck," and it's like, oh, I probably did something.
No, I was still there when you got "oh fuck." I texted it in your driveway.
I went out and I could see your car, like, sort of not in my driveway, but in the street,
Yeah,
just sort of
yeah.
parked. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh shit, the stars are out. And then, oh shit, it's fucking cold.
I wasn't sure there was anyone in your house because it was all dark.
Yeah, no, we
It's always all dark, isn't it?
yeah,
The
we
Rose
don't.
family
always
lives
all
in
dark.
darkness.
It really, like when we've dropped him off, it's like literally it looks like the house has been abandoned for like 20 years.
It's-
There's no sign of life.
It's reverse Home Alone.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
I passed it the other day trying to pick you up because I couldn't find it. I didn't know where it was. I was like, hey, there should be lights on, right? If it's
I'm
a
pretty
house.
sure this is
If it's a
Jared's
house.
street. It's got the little ring at the end, and it looks like that place, but I just can't.
I mean, to be fair,
Where'd he go?
we do upkeep the house like it is an abandoned house that, like, is next to the Home Alone house. You know what I'm talking
You're
about?
basically Boo Radley.
Yep,
No,
that's him.
he's.
I got
he's
bullied for that in
That's
middle school. That's not
Bradley.
even a joke.
Jared,
What is
how much time do you and
How
your
does
dad...
someone bully you about that.
They were like, your name sounds like Boo Radley.
It's
Your
so
name
funny
sounds
because
nothing like,
like-
you have the same first.
And
No,
Christoph
initial.
Letterman was like, fuck you.
Okay, Chris O'Brien was like, fuck you to everyone. You're
That's-
not special,
You know,
Brad.
that's very fair.
Mr. Waniger and him were tight. Like,
Really?
yes!
That's
I
an unexpected combo.
insulted this kid in front of a teacher who was like notorious for not liking people, and he was like, "Don't you talk about him that way?" And I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Jared,
Wow.
it was a secret romance.
Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, unsurprising. Jared, I do need to know how much time you and your dad spend on cobweb upkeep and application per week. That's
Well, we actually have to send each other the applications. Like, there's-
that's not
No, no.
what I meant by cobweb application. Please tell me more.
So, like, basically, in order to have a cobweb in your section of the house, you have to fill out 17 full forms.
City code, yeah.
No, it's
It's
family.
you and
code.
your dad
Like
code.
we just exchange
Much more
applications,
excruciating.
and then we put up our nice cobwebs and like to take down walls and increase like bats and like all the other shit that makes our house.
How many bats per square feet do you guys have?
Well, each bat has 2 feet, so you go from there.
Oh.
And we have
Oh, yeah, this house is 3 massive
Those are some big bats.
2.5 bat, 7.5 bat. You know,
2.5 bat.
Kill me. Kill me. No wings.
Jared, do you
I'm just a ball.
Jared, when you step into each room, do you have to make sure the floorboards creak?
no joke.
Like if there's a floorboard that gets too tight and too well set, you got to unscrew it a little bit.
I'm convinced that is something my father actually does. There are times walking in my house where it is a fucking musical experience.
Jared, I told you to dust the bookshelves, not to take the dust off the bookshelves.
Is your test in your house like the first 4 square feet of like a saloon in the Wild West where like the doors open and he's the first board they step on. And like the whole bar swivels, but it's just you and your dad at the chess table.
I mean, well, now but due to extenuating circumstance, now whenever we sit at the chess table, one person sits and the other person stands.
Why don't we talk about the extenuating? Bradley sat on the chair and it broke.
So now instead of a matching set of chairs, there's one chair and one person who sort of looms over the table while we're like.
That's a real power move right there.
We tried to pay to get that fixed.
No, we're my dad and I are convinced.
Did you throw it out?
Yeah, we can't
How did
fix
you
it.
break it?
Six word horror story. It broke when Brad sat there.
The average weight of like the Rose family is like 75 pounds. So this piece of furniture, which could have been toppled by a blast of wind, was instead completely destroyed when I sat down to play poker at Jared's.
I mean, to be fair, my father and I didn't really know because like we're basically about the size of a half bat. For reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't feel like it's our fault that we never,
No, it's definitely my fault. But
It's definitely Bradley's fault.
Like, we need to up our game now, right? So, like, you know what? Viewers, send in suggestions. How can I make my house more creepy?
Can you? Now I know I'm not a viewer, but I do listen to each episode when I edit it. So
Yeah, so you can, like, edit
I
in
don't
later.
think anyone actually views this.
No, I've heard of people who like
Unless
open
there's
up the
someone out
iTunes.
there in the bushes.
They open up the iTunes and pull up the episode and like just look at the cover art for the
The whole
podcast
time.
the entire time.
Right.
The screen dims because you haven't touched it. And shit! Can't let it go away. Got to see the whole thing.
True viewers.
I mean,
Someone's in the
those are
window.
One of these days it's gonna move.
The truly dedicated fans are real viewers. The rest are just listeners.
I mean-
one guy in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, all of the things that I've considered funniest that I have, like, been party to on this podcast have been purely visual gags. Like, I watched Bradley do something.
I feel like
And
that's
then,
an
like-
insult. Like,
No, like, they're very funny and they're, like, intentional. Like, the one time Bradley had a sparkler and he lit it in front of the microphone.
Again, as I said the other day, it was audible.
Yeah,
It was
but, like,
extremely
But
audible.
it's a different experience than to just watch, like, a darkened room, darkened studio.
The sparkler
Right,
wasn't as
just-
funny
yeah.
as Bradley losing his shit at the sparkler.
Oh, yeah, this is true, actually.
Now, Jared, here's my suggestion for you. Could you unscrew all the light bulbs a little bit so whenever they get bumped, they flicker?
You know what?
That's good.
If you unscrew them slightly more, whenever you walk under them, they fall on you.
Well, that's also pretty good. Could you put suits of armor with very loose arm screws?
Jared already has that in his house.
Well, they have to have axes, and then if you walk past it, the floorboard creaks and it goes. You fucking die.
Well, you know what? Like,
You guys remember Scooby-Doo 2?
Scooby-Doo
So,
2?
like the movie?
Haven't seen it.
Maybe describe it more.
They go to, there's like an abandoned theme park, and there was a dude who like was the Black Knight. Like this is deep Scooby-Doo lore. Maybe you guys
Is
may
it,
not.
Scooby-Doo
is it
deep
live
cut.
action or
It's
is it
live
cartoon?
action.
I've
Okay,
seen
that
5
sounds
minutes
really
of Scooby-Doo.
familiar.
Yeah,
I used to get very scared as a child, so my tolerance for Scooby-Doo was pretty low.
See, I was
Clara.
How far I got into
Oh fuck! The dog talks. I'm out.
pretty much.
Clara, you're in college. You gotta build up your tolerance now. Just go to a frat party and watch Scooby-Doo.
Wait, what? That human man is eating dog food. Fuck! He's a monster.
Oh,
Shaggy's horrifying. He's taller and skinnier than any human being should be allowed to be, and he eats dog food.
So he's Leonard.
He does- is
So
that
he's
a
literal.
part of
That's
the show?
Leonard.
He eats Scooby snacks. Shaggy absolutely
what if it's made
definitely
of
eats
did
Scooby?
they name their dog after
Our
the
sc-
snacks?
No, they named the
Food
snacks.
for thought,
The
literally.
snacks are
No,
made
no,
for
no,
the
no.
dog. The dog's name is Scoobert Doobert.
Yeah, it's his full name.
What?
The dog's name is
Oh,
Scoobert
that's-
Doobert, and they have custom snacks just for Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay, because I remember an episode of when it was not a real Scooby-Doo, it was like a weird spin-off show where he was like a puppy,
Oh,
and they
a pup named
bought
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby snacks,
Mhm.
which seems fake, because if they're named after him, how could he buy them as a puppy?
I mean,
No, they're teens, and that's how they afford all the excursions
Oh,
they
here-
go on.
here-
Is they're
here's
selling
actually-
Scooby snacks
made of Scooby.
to lanky adult weed smokers
I
and
bet.
dogs.
I've googled Scooby-Doo full name, and the real lore is this. This is from Business Insider, by the way. It's just written an article. Scooby-Doo's real name isn't Scoobert Doobert. It's Scoobert Doo. Scooby's full name, Scoobert, is revealed in the 1988 Scooby-Doo spin-off, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, which focuses on Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne, Freddy, and Velma's adventures as children.
Mhm.
We saw this.
Wait,
That's
wait.
probably what I
that
was
sounds
watching.
like- can you-
when I was
Baby-
Wait, that
Wait,
means
what year was
Scooby-Doo
that?
is so old he's about to die.
Wait, no, hold on.
Hold on.
Wait, what
If
year was
Pup
that?
named Scooby-Doo is
1988.
canon.
Wait, hold up, guys. It was 1988.
Shaggy got Scooby when he was that young, then Scooby's about to die.
But
I think
that has
he
real
has
policy
the-
implications, because in 1988, they revealed Scooby's real name to be Scoobert, and in 89, communism just got fucked. So, what if these are like...
Jared,
Jared.
this is the deep state shit your dad is
No, no, no.
talking about.
Mr. Gorbachev.
No.
Like Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall, man.
Listen.
He sounds southern.
Like Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall, man.
I think there is a correlation, and therefore a causation, between revealing
No.
information about...
Shut up.
No,
You
it-
can't say those words.
Mr. Polio and swimming pools. Stop. No, it was going to be polio and ice cream. That was going to be a joke. Never mind.
We need to slowly reveal more personal information about Scoobert Doo in order to fight the commies. But, like, if he dies, then, like, my whole plan dies with it. So, this is what our very long-winded way of starting our fundraising campaign. Fucking save the fucking dog! Donate now to fucking save the fucking dog.
So I couldn't really follow what Jared was talking about, but I think it has something to do with his idea that Scooby-Doo is an anti-communist plot made by Hanna-Barbera to end communism, and the dog is about to die, and we can't let an American hero like Scooby-Doo die.
Well, it's that, but if he dies, I think the communists are coming back.
That's what I'm saying. We can't let this American hero die. What just happened? Where are we?
He was made in like 1960s.
Maybe
so
we should do a prompt.
I'm assuming he has a human. That sounds good. Yeah.
Wait, if he has a human lifespan, he still could die. That would put him in his, like,
Well, no,
almost 60, right?
but the
Like,
kids
he's like my dad's age.
Bradley. Here's what you're not considering. Bradley. There are different Scooby-Doo universes, right?
I
Scooby-Doo.
cannot bring myself to
The
care
Scooby-Doo
enough
multiverse.
about this anymore.
Hold on, shut up.
Multiple
Have you guys seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, it was
Because I
so
saw
good.
that last night. It was so fucking good.
So good. It was so good.
It was so good.
Highly recommend. 10
They had such a damn good cast in there.
It was so good.
It was funny
the
as
soundtrack
fuck.
was really good. It was so
There's
funny.
like noir Spider-Man.
There is
Yes.
Noir Spider-Man played by Nicolas
Spider-Ham,
Cage.
John Mulaney, amazing.
There's
Wait, John
One
Mulaney's
of them
in
is
it?
like a ballerina, and I was
Dad
very
Bod
excited.
Spider-Man.
There is Dad
Dad
Bod
Bod
Spider-Man.
Nick
Nick-
from New Girl. What's his name?
Yep, Nick from New Girl
He's
is Jake
amazing.
Johnson, and he
I
plays
love
Dad
him.
Spider-Man. And then there's Marshala or whatever, who plays, I think, also one of the Spider-Men. I don't know. All I know is Aunt May was fucking badass.
Oh, it was so good.
Aunt May was badass, and then once I saw the final fight scene, all I wanted was a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse video game, and it's a fighting game with like a character roster of like 10 characters, maybe even a
that
little
would be
more.
fun.
You get
Are they all
Kingpin,
Spider-Man?
who just has a well, no, a lot of them
They're
would be.
all the
A lot
same
of them are
one.
different iterations of Spider-Man. You get Kingpin, he just has a fucking gun, and then which I just there was that scene where like Kingpin pulled a gun multiple times, multiple scenes, and I was just like, that is so overpowered. Like, this is not a balanced fight at all. But you have the different Spider-Man. You have, like, the one that's, like, Diva with the mech, and she moves around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and she's got this mech fighter. And if you've ever played Marvel versus... Yeah, Overwatch. Marvel versus Capcom, Overwatch DeviantArt, you can find Diva all over the place. DeviantArt.
Ooh,
Fuck.
there's Lego Overwatch now.
Is there really?
Yeah.
What a bad idea.
Oh, that's a Christmas
Cameron's about to
present.
lose all his money
isn't
on
it?
that.
Yeah.
Jared, as his lover, I
He
understand
can't
that.
listen to this episode now.
Yeah, no, wait,
I'll
actually,
bleep it out.
I think we should just call this the Band for Cameron episode.
I'll send Cameron a fake file, and it's just like it's an episode announcement that says we didn't do an episode this week. It's like
The episode Cameron can't listen to because it includes a great gift for him.
I put it on the schedule. He knows that I'm here.
but here's my thing. Spider-Ham is what solidified this idea for me.
Is that Spider-Man played by John Hamm?
Yes, it was
No.
Spider-Man played by John Mulaney.
But
He's
it's
a
pig.
pig. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Sorry,
I
you're a
loved it.
DC dude. You don't really get.
Yeah, you don't know anything about John Mulaney, Jared.
I know, I like the Marvel
Sad.
movies.
Hey, shut up. I'm talking right now about Spider-Ham fighting game.
Continue, please.
So it moves in this, like Spider-Ham, they all move in very different ways, and that's the key, because I think Spider-Man as a series is all about movement and action, and the different characters, like Spider-Girl and Spider-Man, move very differently, but they have the exact same powers. And Miles Morales, Spider-Man, has kind of different powers, but he moves differently. They all move differently. Spider-Ham moves like a cartoon character. I just think it would be so interesting to see a fighting game with all of these different types of movement and characters. Because in Smash, most of the characters move kind of the same. Then you have a couple people, outliers like Ryu, who moves like a Street Fighter character, Mega Man, who moves like he moves in Mega Man.
Game & Watch?
Game & Watch does move differently. Game & Watch moves like a video game character. I think it would be really interesting to have a super fluid, like
Don't they
really
all move
high
like
frame
video
rate.
game
What?
characters?
Yes, but he moves like a classic video game character. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Brandon.
No, we good.
I'm sorry.
Isn't
I sound
Mario
like a real
the
dumbass.
classic
I'm
video
done
game?
talking about this now. It's just yeah, Mario is the classic, but Pong is the classic.
I love.
Why is Pong not in Smash Brothers yet? That's what I want to know.
Wait, hold up. That's an assist trophy.
Okay, well, you know what, Jared?
Is it?
Yes, I know. I've lost
I
to it.
want
It's
to play
super good.
as Pong. Okay,
Okay.
I want to play as Pong, like the video
skins
game.
are regular and beer.
That's weird. This character only has 2 skins.
It's just a solo cup.
I don't know. I'm done. I just wanted to pitch my Spider-Man video game
Here's the-
idea.
But there's an
play it.
interesting idea
Yeah.
there, which is that, like, right now, all of us sitting at this table have very similar power sets as humans. And, like, if you
In
think...
terms of what?
in terms of, like...
Because I could definitely pound you into the
Well, you
ground,
can beat the
Jared.
shit out of me. Like, I'm not saying we are equally as powerful. I'm saying that, like, we have the same power sets. Like, no one here has, like, super strength or, like, can climb through walls or whatever, right? Like, we're all...
Speak
Right,
for
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, so we're all, like, relatively normal humans. But we all move super differently.
We all have a different gait.
Yeah, we all have mine is sort of Mr. Burns with, like, scoliosis, and, like, we go from there. But, like...
So, Jared, it seems like you would be heavily disadvantaged in this game.
But I would be the challenge player.
What is scoliosis?
Oh, you would be like playing Pichu in Melee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. High five. Every time you attack, you damage yourself.
Yes. But like the idea, like of course they move different. Like, cause like everyone moves different. Like when when you watch, I don't know, like any movie or anything ever. Yes, the characters have to move different because they're. I mean, I get it's better because it's animated, right?
So it's animated, and like the art style that this Spider-Man movie used lent itself
God.
so well to the movement and to the action.
The
like,
animation.
Blown away. And I would want the video game to be animated the same way. And I don't think I would want it to be 3D. I think that would be a little too much. But like a Super Smash Brothers with the frame rate and animation style of this movie with these characters, and there's some of the villains, some of the or all the heroes, some of the villains. Aunt May is definitely in there. Maybe she has like a broom.
But can you imagine having to fight Aunt
her
May?
baseball bat?
Like,
Yeah, she's the most badass person in that movie.
No, you don't understand. I'm not saying she can't fight.
She has a spider cycle.
I'm
Wario.
I'm saying, could you imagine having to punch Aunt May? Like, I'd like
Which version of the movie?
basically anyone.
Which version?
anyone.
The newest one, like Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yes, I could fight Aunt May.
We're talking
The
about-
oldest one, like the one,
We're not talking about that.
the frail old woman, probably not.
Rather,
but,
we're
like,
talking about the newest
but,
one,
like,
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
But like MILF Aunt May, I could definitely clock her.
MILF? Aunt May?
Okay, I'm gonna back off now.
May I like to fuck?
May?
Do not take that photo and caption it.
Oh, damn it!
Jared, do it.
No.
Your quote of the day.
I use journalistic rule. Alright, so I do a quote of the day on my Snapchat, which is when people say things that are like, great, take a picture, put a quote, put their full name, put it in my story. This is all I use my story for. I'm weird. But the thing is, I have like very strict journalistic integrity. Like, I think I have more integrity about this than I do about like citing sources in my essays.
Probably.
Where it's like, I will never cite someone if they say, no, don't do it, even though like that quote is fucking
Because
great.
that can have personal social consequences if you don't cite things from people or if you fuck.
If I cite things people don't want me to cite.
Yes.
Like, if I...
The moral of the story is Jared is considerate.
Jared's a considerate boy. Do you guys want to do a
And then,
prompt? I get to
let's-
do my
let's
geeking
do a
out about
prompt.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Aiden, read
My
us a
dad
prompt.
sent us a prompt about Spider-Man Homecoming, so it's okay.
No, you mean the other one. Oh wait.
Fuck, you
That's
fucked me
Tom
up. I meant
Holland.
Into the Spider-Verse, and you fucked me up,
Oh.
Bradley, because you said the most recent one was Spider-Man
if- if
Homecoming.
you
Tom
think about
Holland,
it-
the lipless wonder. Have you seen him?
Have you seen this man? He's not missing or anything, but look at his fucking face.
He's on a milk can. Like Tom Holland has no lips.
And then there's like a little cutout so you can drink the milk from his
You
mouth
won't
with
know
no
lips.
Oh, God.
That's like the girl version of You Won't Know Balls.
I gotta eat. Oh, you won't. No lips.
Oh, my friends and I have started saying no tits, you won't, because it's way more effective than no balls.
That's like, it's not only way more effective. I think part of the reason it's more effective is
It's so good. I've looked at my friend and go, no tits.
No, but no.
tits, you won't. Like in class. No tits.
That's really good. That's
It's
really
good.
good.
It's awesome.
Your professor's like,
Yeah.
I will fail you. No tits. Oh shit.
You know what?
I'm a man!
I almost said it to my mom the other day. That would have
Hold
been bad.
up.
You could say it to men and just be like, tits, you won't.
No, but guys, he has no lips.
He has the amount of lip that Matt Smith has eyebrows in Doctor Who.
Cool.
How much eyebrow does Matt Smith have?
He has none. He
Oh,
has
okay.
no eyebrow.
Yeah, but
No eyebrow.
But he has but you know why he has no eyebrows? Because he shaves them for the show because he has giant fucking eyebrows. If you see Matt Smith in American Psycho, he has huge eyebrows.
oh, I thought you were just gonna say in America. So like when he's in England, no eyebrows, but they pop back in when he comes to the States.
for
Google
sure.
Matt Smith eyebrow, and it's him with eyebrows edited on. It's kind of not
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Wait, hold up. That's a different guy. That's
It's the same dude.
No. That's not Matt Smith. That's the actor Andrew Garfield.
That's
What?
definitely Matt
No, hold
Smith.
on. The guy who played Spider-Man after Tobey Maguire.
Him?
That's not.
No, look
I
at
think
that.
you just
guy-
got Spider-Man
Wait,
on the
go
brain,
ahead.
Look at
buddy.
that, right? Look, stay on that. Pull up another tab of Andrew Garfield.
This guy? That's not
Just do it. Just humor me here.
The viewer in the bushes is gonna love this.
You know, I think.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield.
Look at his face.
He kind of looks like my Greek professor, actually, which is a little concerning. Andrew Garfield, Aunt May.
What? Oh
I
yeah.
don't know what she looks
Bradley,
like.
you're gonna find some weird shit on DeviantArt right now if you...
I can punch this Aunt May.
Why does Aunt May?
That could definitely clock her. She looks weak.
Bradley, read me some fan fiction. Andrew Garfield x Aunt May. I'm assuming that's who you were looking at.
Andrew Garfield commits incest. The fan fiction.
Is it incest if they're not
Andrew
related in real
Garfield
life?
commits incest?
Oh,
He
yeah.
has to be Spider-Man.
No, it's Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield meets. I don't like this one.
Yeah, I don't.
Andrew
Okay.
Garfield meets
All
his
right,
sister again.
Aiden,
A prompt.
what's the prompt?
All right, the prompt. I think. Oh, hold on. Da 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 da. It's the economy, stupid. Welcome to It's the Economy, Stupid, with Aiden, Jared, Bradley, and Clara. My favorite recurring segment on Good Idea.
We talked about
Today-
the economy.
I got that.
I got that.
You know what? I would love it if the strategist who coined that fucking term said it, and then Glinton didn't fucking get it. And he's like, "So what we're saying is maybe, just hear me out. We talk about the economy. Oh, that's what it means.
Yeah.
So
Finally, we've been doing this segment for weeks,
Is the
and I
segment
just
called
haven't.
It's the economy. I thought it was called like It's Money Stupid.
No, it's
or, like,
called It's
something.
the Economy
no.
Stupid.
Okay.
no,
but
it
it's
has its
something.
But I
origins in like
named
the
the
92
segment.
election.
It's the economy, stupid.
Okay.
It's the economy,
Well, now I
dumbass.
feel bad.
It's the economy, dumbass.
It's the economy, fuckhead. Come on.
No tits. It's the
Invisible
economy.
hands, you dipshit.
You got no tits if this isn't the economy.
Just do this.
I'll eat my hat
No.
if this isn't the economy.
This is part of the segment. I think insulting the
God.
viewership has to be a part of the segment.
is
No,
that?
guys,
Viewership,
there's no
we're insulting
viewers.
Bradley.
No viewers. This is not
But
a
Bradley's
visual
looking at us.
phenomenon.
All right. Shh.
What is it?
Today's question for It's the Economy, Stupid comes to us from Keegan on Facebook. And he wants to know what realtors for birdhouses would look like.
Blue jays are the realtors of birds, if you just sort of look at
If
them.
you think about it, they really are the realtors of birds.
But they are also sort of the woman who is going to call the manager of birds at the same
That's a
time.
very fair
So
point.
they can't be realtors on their own. But they sort of dominate the market.
The woman who calls the manager is always a realtor.
Now, Bradley, I would also say, and Jared, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Janet.
Oh,
No,
Janet.
you're Nancy.
No, he's Nancy.
No,
I'm Nancy.
no.
You're Nancy. I'm Nancy. He's Janet.
Yes.
She's Clara. And
Look at
Just a group of gals out on the town.
should we order fries? Should we be back?
Should we be bad?
Should we get a plate of Coke for the table?
What was the prompt? Because I forgot it instantaneously.
Realtors for birds.
Realtors for birds.
Now, Janet, I would like to know, as much as the Blue Jay, Jared, I'm asking Janet because I think you're going to disagree with me, but as much as the Blue Jay really is the realtor of birds, don't you think a peacock with sunglasses is the mom who's going to speak to the manager of birds?
A peacock with sunglasses is like the celebrity of birds. That's like the
No,
bird everyone wants to meet.
Wait, think about a peacock's
Are
face.
you sure?
You ever
guys,
seen a peacock?
You know, wait,
seen a
think about how
peacock,
small, think about how, like, narrow their head is. Like, those
My
sunglasses...
peacock is smaller than yours.
Think about that for a second. I just want to
No, we're gonna
stop.
we're gonna take a full 5-second moment of silence thinking about that.
And I'm going to edit that down to 1 second of silence.
And then here's the thing, like, can you imagine putting either they're specialized sunglasses, or you are painfully ramming a sunglass into the eye socket of a peacock?
You make peacock-sized sunglasses.
Yes.
Or they're like goggles. So it goes all the way
The
around.
realtors of birds.
The realtors of birds are humans, aren't they? Because we're the people who make their houses.
make
That's
the
a great
houses.
point. So
I mean-
really, the realtors of birds are like salespeople at Home Depot, like
Yeah.
selling you like the bird
Wait.
Well, if
house equipment.
So if you're buying a nest, you're just buying, like, is buying a nest equivalent to buying a rustic home? Like a well-lived home?
Tiny birdhouses. They're just holes in the ground.
Is that, like, not public housing for birds? Like, is that... Wait, are we the public housing authority for birds?
I don't know, Nancy. What do you think?
Oh, every bird has to make their own house.
No, that's not true. We've
That's
made
very
What if we
lofty
make
of
them-
you.
but
I
if we
like
make
that a
them-
lot as an economic.
Like, when we make their houses. Like, because I've made a birdhouse when I was
So
young.
if we're the realtors for birds and we make their houses and sell them to them, are the birds that make their own houses like the equivalent of Amish people for birds because they're building their own houses?
They're lumberjacks.
Are all birds Amish?
I think that's
fair.
They don't use electricity.
They don't.
They ride around everywhere on horse and buggy.
Have I told you
Those are the two things I know about birds.
I mean, honestly, it's a fair question.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask every professor I have
It's
from now on.
It's
First day.
2019. It's time we answer the question: are birds Amish?
That's fair. Bradley, we did that play last year. They didn't talk about this once. This is an issue that they really should have covered in the Amish project.
Brought
Were
up.
you in
brought
that
up.
play?
I sure was.
What? Cameron
had a
and I
lot of
saw that
makeup
on our
on.
second date.
He was on.
Wait, that was
the,
a second
the
date?
reporter.
Yeah.
That's
He
a
was the
really
reporter.
depressing second
It was
date.
very depressing, but it was a great show.
Good bonding experience.
I must have told this story
It was a
on
great.
this
It was
podcast
good.
before.
Were you in them?
Bradley and I were both in it, and I hated it.
Hey, I didn't really like. I don't remember.
Here's a fun fact. Because it was your second date, I did not get to see it. Do you,
Jared, you are so dumb for just not third wheeling. You could have just sat like somewhere else.
Right in
Like, that's
between
it. That's
the
all
two
it would have
of them.
taken.
no, the car
Behind
ride.
us and
No,
just
no,
talk to Cameron the whole time.
He was said he could give me a ride, but he was like very hesitant. And I was like, Cameron, tell me what is it? Like 2 hours of interrogating
Cameron,
him
what
to
do you
finally
really
say
want
he was
from
going
me
on a
right
date.
now?
And it was like, fine, you could have saved us so much fucking time by saying that like earlier before I took over as the
I
leader.
would have
Uber.
really liked that if he had like texted me and be like, "Oh, by the way, we're driving Jared too. He's
But
coming."
no, but you didn't know me that well at all. At that
Right?
time.
No, that's why it would have been so fun.
Listen, Jared, you're small enough. That's what the trunk is for.
I wouldn't
Cameron
have
just
known.
fucking throws me in
I
the
just
trunk.
like hear a noise. I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Ah, it's just the birds."
That's totally a
the-
Cameron thing.
Yeah.
It's the birds trying to rebel against the car. Amish.
So realtors for birdhouses, I think it could be argued that they are Home Depot employees, but I want to talk about the birds that like see a birdhouse and they're like, I can get some money out of this, and then they fly to the nearby bird colony, the nearby Amish bird gathering,
Mhm.
and they say, we have a house over here, and if I can tell you where it is, if you just give me some seed.
Some
And
seed
then-
money.
Yeah, some seed money to buy more houses. Definitely, that's what I'm going to do with it. And then they buy like heroin, like bird heroin.
Whoa.
Like-
Okay. So
Can you imagine
you're
trying to
have
shoot-
money to buy seed.
Actually buys Moab like a boss.
So what you're actually talking about are not bird realtors,
They're
but bird
bird-
drug addicts.
Well,
so,
no, I'm talking about people.
Bird house addicts.
You gotta give me some more of those fucking birdhouses. You're a human, but I like the houses.
Isn't the
It's
birdhouse,
cozy.
Jared? Isn't the birdhouse truly in your soul, though?
If you jam it hard
build
enough
a
in the
birdhouse.
soul, yeah, just force that thing in there.
In the other by the light switch, who watches over you. Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it.
It's a
Say
They
I'm
Might
the
Be
only
Giant
bee
song.
in your bonnet.
Oh, the
Make a
only They
little
Might Be Giant
birdhouse
song, of
in your
course.
soul.
I was like, wow, what great
Alright.
improvisation.
Yep.
But so the thing is that, like you mentioned, they were using heroin. Imagine like the wing of a blue jay.
Sparrowin.
Yeah. Yes.
Heron.
That's also very good.
But like, imagine the wing of a blue jay. Again, we're gonna take 5 seconds, which Aiden will cut down to 1.
Jared, that was completely unnecessary knowing I was going to cut it down to 1. We could have just not did it.
No,
Let's
no,
have
no.
a second of silence. Jared,
Okay,
and
good.
Aiden's gonna edit that
A second of
one.
silence. Hey, let's have 5 moments of silence for Jared's dead bit. I'm not going to edit that one out.
I think it's still really.
So
funny.
it's gonna
Let's
be
all
the-
quiet.
Everyone knows comedy's rule of 5s. You do it a bunch of times. Comedy's rule of...
Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
So the thing's like, it is small. Like, if you try to put a normal syringe in a blue jay's wing, that shit will break, and not like the wing will just
Actually,
like
the
fucking
bird
snap.
has a syringe.
I've taken blood from birds before.
Oh,
I thought that
I
was
think
going
we
a
should
very
talk more
different
about
direction.
Okay. You put up a thing called mist netting over where you think birds will be, and they fly into it because they're dumb. And then you take the bird out and you hold its wing, and you take a blood sample and you measure its weight, beak size, several other things, space between its wing to measure its health, and you release it back into the wild.
And then
No,
you...
No,
Bradley,
how do you get
my
this blood?
second follow-up question is, why the fuck would you do that?
So you can measure the health of the bird population and see what the correlation is between feeders in the area and how useful it is for increasing bird health, which you can detect bird health while you take the blood sample. So you can count the amount of red to white blood cell ratio and then to plasma. So that gives you a general idea of how good the bird is.
When the fuck did you
So-
do this?
Yeah,
Hold
what?
on. Hey, I'm raising my hand. Hold on. It's my turn to speak. Bradley?
The viewers will appreciate the
Yeah,
raised
I
hand.
know. They'll really be able to see that I've been raising my hand for the last 30 seconds. Am I wrong to say that as a child, you might have had some inkling also when drawing the bird's blood that should you introduce it to your own bloodstream, you would maybe grow wings or feathers of some sort?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Wait,
I knew it.
Wait, hold on. That's why you have wings. Like, you've always been really cagey about, like, why you have fucking wings.
Yeah, we talked about putting those in the cover art, but, like, we thought it would confuse
we
people
definitely
too
talked
much.
about that, like, recently. When did we talk about you having wings? Wanting wings?
I just talk about it a
You just
lot.
talk about it a lot. That comes up
it's like,
every
when I think of
Bradley
Bradley, the first thing I think of is the wings, and then you move from there.
I'm so proud of that deep cut call. I just guessed that. I guessed that shit.
There was one time when I was little when one of my pillows exploded while I was sleeping, and I thought I was molten.
I know this story.
So
I
went
know
into
this
my
story.
closet and waited to transform into a beautiful bird boy.
And maybe I emerged a week later. I smelled like shit. And
Fuck, I can just hear your dad saying just the driest voice, Bradley, what are you doing there?
carry on, son. I've got you some chicken nuggets downstairs when you're ready.
Chicken nuggets? That is the last thing you'd want to eat if you were turning into a bird.
Well, you know, maybe it's cannibalism. Maybe that's Vor is what he's into.
What?
Before we move on to the next prompt, I gotta
was
do
violent today.
two things. The first one is I gotta pee. The second one is a surprise, and you'll find out about it.
It's
when
a
I come
surprise tool we'll be using later.
back. Maybe. Before we jump into our next prompt, I have one little thing about real estate to talk about. It's just a nice segue. I found some prime real estate earlier today. And by prime real estate, I do mean the back of a Panda Express, which I hold up in and played Legend of Smelda Stink of the Link for a couple hours.
Let's wait for Aiden to stop laughing at this joke.
Hey Bradley, Legend of Smelda Stink of the Link. Mm-hmm.
So we are aware of the joke.
That's all I had. I just wanted to talk about Legend of Smelda Stink of the Link. It's a pretty good game. I played. Next one. Next.
Okay.
I thought that might be funny.
Maybe we
was
can
funny.
take a brief
There were
break to
parts of
describe
it
what a
that were funny.
refreshing Coca-Cola you're drinking, Aiden.
This is from KAK. I heard on the radio a disgusting food museum is opening soon. How about some other narrow-focused museums?
What
That is
about
good.
a magnifying glass museum?
Very nice.
Thank you.
Well,
We had a consistent. I was on vacation recently, and we had a consistent joke because we were going to Busch Gardens, and it was very fun. And all of my four annoying British cousins, I love them, but they're fine, and they would have campaigned really hard to also go to Busch Gardens. So we told them we were going to a hot dog museum. Every time they're like, "Where are you guys going?" Like, hot dog museum. And they're like, "Oh, that sounds awful." Except one of them was like, "Yeah, hot dog museum." We had to like take him out of the car 4 times as we left to go to Busch Gardens.
The basement of the hot dog museum has a hot dog water pool that you can jacuzzi in.
Oh my
It's
god.
really, really hot.
You leave and you're like, "You smell like hot dog." You got the cologne.
Stink
The hot
meat.
dog.
Stink meat.
You know what? I need to build up the scent, the confidence to ask her out. I'm gonna take hot dog water, just splash my face in that.
Oh god. That's
Dude,
awful.
stop. No, different museum. Give me a different. I don't want to talk about hot
You don't
dog
want to talk
museum.
about the hot dog museum?
Ooh,
Maybe there's like a fun like room with blind box hot dogs in them, and you just feel like you got to guess what type of hot dog it is. Like
What-
maybe
what-
this one's like Hebrew National. This one is a turkey dog. This one is a vibrating matte black dildo.
This
you
one
just
is
gotta
Hebrew
Just what object is it? Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. I got it.
You got all 4. Here's your 5% off gift shop coupon.
You know,
Yay.
And the gift shop just sells hot dogs.
but if you try and buy a hot dog gift card in the gift shop with your coupon, they will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Now-
guarantee this museum exists somewhere. Probably not. The Hot Dog Museum, Athens, Ohio. That's within driving distance of my school.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You know-
Betty's Red Hot
Mhm.
Hot Dog
She
Museum.
is.
Oh, Betty's may not have the only hot dog museum in the world, but we certainly have one of the largest, varied, and most entertaining, and still growing.
Wait, still growing
You-
what? It's one museum.
Of the hot
No,
dog.
they have a hot dog garden in the back.
It's a pig.
It's
You will be amazed by the countless objects devoted to America's favorite food, the wiener. Hot dog-shaped buildings, cars, toys, candy, cooking utensils.
Wait, they have multiple buildings?
Dangerous-looking hot dog cookers, toys. They said toys and games already.
Welcome to the Hot Dog Museum Ladies' Night. We know you ladies love wieners.
Nickel shot night at the Hot Dog Museum.
Children's books, and on and on. Thank
Dude,
you.
steal a hot dog from the Hot Dog Museum and eat it. No tits. You won't.
You know, I'm
What?
driving on
What?
the way back. When school ends next semester, I'm driving from Virginia back to Illinois. I think I'm going to make a stop in Athens, Ohio. I don't know where it is, except that it's in Ohio.
It's kind of like
find it.
near Corinth a little bit.
I know nothing about Ohio.
Of course.
I know
Corinth,
nothing about Ohio.
The Peloponnese, maybe? No? Okay. There's a couple city-states on the way. Sparta?
Ha!
Okay.
Oh my god, I just had the... Alright, so I have an idea for a museum and also the weirdest story I just remembered. But I'm going to go with the museum because the story is just... Clara was there for it. It was weird as hell.
What was it?
It was fine story. 5th grade,
Oh.
our teacher divided us
Yes.
into Athens and
That was
Sparta.
the fucking worst. I was in Sparta. Like, you
Oh, yeah,
look like
you were
a fighter.
too.
I'm so Athenian. All I do
Yeah.
is read, and I was on fucking
She put
Sparta.
all the fucking nerds on Sparta for like it was like not. Like
That
she put the
was
weak ones
honestly-
on Sparta.
I haven't gotten over that unjust.
No, so what I remembered is that she stoked up tensions between one half her class and the other. So like, what the fuck are you doing?
Classic memory.
And then there was the day we had to be someone else's slave. Like, do you remember that?
From a
Yeah.
social psychological perspective, there's so much wrong with this.
So I have two observations. One is this Yelp review, which is, I used to think that I didn't really like hot dogs. That changed when I began my obsession with O'Benny's. We planned our trip primarily for the ambiance. However, the dining room is closed.
The mise en scène of O'Benny's.
Oh my god! How does this exist? Betty's reminds me of myself as a young woman, fresh, fried, and serving the finest of dogs. I don't know what that means.
She worked at PetSmart.
That's
If
gonna
you're-
be my Instagram bio.
Into savory spice. Try the Cajun fries. The onions on the gypsy are always fresh. If you're hungry, it's worth the
Wait,
stop.
Wait, this is written by a man named Miller M. from Pittsburgh.
Myself as a young woman.
Wait, maybe it's Mary Miller and they do last name and first initial.
Oh my god, I want to go here.
Yeah, guys, can we just quickly pause
How
the
about
recording?
we all just
Go.
we take a field trip for
That is a good idea. Has done similar things in the past, but Athens, Ohio,
like
is
when you went to
very
the
far
store. I
away.
remember.
No, and
We did
the
go to the
live from
store.
Pumpkin Fest 2019.
We did do live from.
We did
Fest.
2017. Live from O'Betty's 2019.
If you come to my college, we can definitely
We
go
have
here.
to go to
Yeah.
O'Betty's, don't
I
we?
mean, your college is sort of like the central midpoint of all the colleges, which is, there was a time I was talking to like another group of friends and was like, oh, we should definitely meet up. I'm like, yes, why don't we meet up here? You know, on the coast, the not middle place. And they're like, yeah, sure. The one thing about the Midwest which is good is that it's in the middle of things.
So you
That's
manipulated them?
No, I just suggested it and thought they'd shoot
So
it
you
down and
held
they
them
fuck.
at gunpoint,
No.
is what
I
you're saying?
suggested it and they didn't shoot it down. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to have to move.
I'm gonna make them meet up here where I am.
We could also, meet in Lake Forest.
That's what
It's too
Cameron
I was
doing.
drunk, paid a lot of money for a hot dog, dropped it in the snow, picked it up, consumed it. Not bad. Thank you, James Y. They have a naked woman on the menu. Nice.
Wait, you can order her? I'll take one.
I mean, Jared, all you gotta do
She's
is go
covered
back
in
to
chili,
5th grade.
No, we were the slaves, Aiden. Sparta lost that war.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was someone's... Like, but you remember this. Like, I didn't imagine it, right?
Now, when you say slave,
Remember it vaguely.
when you say slave, can you tell me a little bit more about what that meant in the context of your 5th grade classroom?
Here's the thing. I don't remember that much.
I don't know.
You
I
must
don't
have been
really
hit
remember.
pretty hard.
You probably-
But I distinctly remember this being a thing. And like...
Was it like, I have to go get your backpack for you when we go to lunch, or was it like, you're gonna do my homework for me all day and
no,
your own?
it definitely
and-
was more like the first thing.
No, actually, I don't know about you. I kind of vaguely remember picking cotton for like several years.
You
That
had to be
was not
slave for a
something that
day,
did in
but you really
Sparta.
liked it, so you stayed.
I got a salaried position as a slave.
What?
It's called a job.
I want to be
It's the
free
economy,
so
stupid.
badly.
It's the economy.
Never ended that bit, huh?
That's the thing about the bit. It's sort of like giving someone emergency powers. You can never take it away. Like, this bit will continue for the rest of your episodes.
That was the
Damn
economy,
it.
stupid. We've ended. How very punctual.
And this has been the economy, stupids. Because now it's over and it's my turn.
We're gonna enter a recession.
You guys ready to enter a recession?
Yeah.
Or the Good Idea Podcast recession. So let's do some housekeeping. This was Good Idea. And we want to say thank you so much for listening to us and giving us your time out of your day that you have and don't have any more. If you want to,
We ate it.
I'm so sorry. We ate it like a hot dog on the drunk floor of a museum hot dog.
I'll be honest, if all the time that people spent listening, not watching, listening to this podcast was given back to me to use, like for
That
all...
is so nice.
Yeah, like obviously I'm not on there, but like for you and Aiden, like it would
That's
be...
like so much time.
That's
Yeah.
a long time.
That's a couple thousand
you
hours.
could
at
make
least.
a bunch
That'd be
more
very good.
podcasts in that time.
Oh, you
That'd be
right.
Very nice.
Yeah, okay, so any whomst. What was I fucking saying? Like the hot dog on the drunk floor of the snow that I consumed.
That's
We have
one
consumed
sentence.
your time. Now, we're gonna tell you ways you can spend more of your time on us. We have social media. We have a Gmail. It's goodideapodcast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter and a Tumblr and an Instagram. All of them are at goodideacast. Excuse me, Jesus. Sorry, that hot dog's
You are
coming
welcome,
back
my
up.
son.
Years of me failing to do that joke has culminated in Bradley successfully doing that joke.
Heck yeah.
And we have a Facebook group, which is Good Idea Podcast on Facebook. I want to say thank you to everyone who submitted prompts to us. I guess it would be last Thursday at this point, but we got a really a large amount of bangers from you guys, so thank you for that. We'll be sure to see more of them in episodes to come. I want to say specifically thank you to Keegan for doing our banner art. That is visible right now on our Facebook and on our Twitter and hopefully soon in other places. But it looks super, super nice and it has some of our cool bits illustrated on it. Find us anywhere you get podcastos, and you should share us with a friend if you have anyone you know who you think would like it.
Or any friends.
Or any friends if you have those. Yeah, I mean, you're having a lot of your time eaten up by podcasts, just saying. You might want to get out more. Me at myself. I listen to so many podcasts. And maybe give us a rating and a review. Galaxy Brain, as I said in the last episode, Galaxy Brain is giving us a rating, a review, and a share. And that's, I think, it for housekeeping. Clara, what was your favorite idea of the episode?
I mean, the hot dog museum, that's a pretty good one. I feel like that could actually happen. Like, I feel like we might actually...
It did.
We're all going to go to that hot dog museum, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm ready
One
to be...
year from today.
ready to be reminded of myself as a young woman when I go to that hot dog museum. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to mark my calendar for that.
Mark your calendar.
Just
1
put it
year
on
from today.
the joint calendar thing.
Yeah.
Hot Dog Museum, a several week block.
Right, exactly. Cameron will ask me. I'll wait till he asks me about it.
That's so good.
So,
I
like,
actually
in
have
several
a
months.
reminder in my phone for several months from now that I set when I was with Cameron for, I believe, a year from the day that I set it. And it's going to go off in summer, and hopefully...
What is the reminder?
What is it?
It's a secret. I can't tell you
Tell
now.
it. Come on.
Like, okay.
I'm Cameron's best friend. Tell
You're
me.
Cameron's best friend, okay. But I can't tell his lover. He'll use that in bed against him. I don't see it on my reminders. That's really frustrating. I deleted an email account from my phone, and it was on that email account. But it was a reminder to go get a hot grog with Cameron. So that was going to go off, I think, sometime in July or August, and Grogust. And now I'm not sure if it ever will. Hey, Bradley. Janet, sorry.
Thank you.
Could you give us your favorite idea of the episode, please?
My favorite idea of the episode...
It was Legend of Smell That Stink of the Lake, right?
Bird heroin.
You do mean
Heroin.
Heroin.
It felt so good.
You guys, there's this new heroin ring you gotta check out.
Why is the
They got
bird
heroin
Dr.
in ants.
Doofenshmirtz?
You guys, there's this new heroin ring you have to check out. They have heroin and sparrowin. Jared, what was your favorite idea of the episode?
I like the idea...
Nancy, sorry.
Alright, thank you. I like the idea of opening It's the Economy, Stupid with increasingly angry insults to our our listeners
I
about
do like that.
about their
Very
lack
good.
of understanding of the economy.
You
Just
know
like
nothing
Coco.
of the economy, idiot!
Economy, you dumb bitch.
Listen, you fucking idiot! I will kill you! It is the economy!
You, sir, are a gentleman and an idiot. Fuck. It wasn't funny that time. It just really didn't work.
It's the rule of 17s. First 16 times it's great, but then the 17th time it takes a dip.
But then it circles all the way back around, and it becomes funny again. My favorite idea of the episode, thank you for asking, you guys. I really appreciated that.
You're welcome.
What did we even talk about?
Wargen de Sterfrom for the Wall?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Was it that one?
Wargen de Pargo. Birds.
Yeah.
And the one about hot dogs. There was a really long talk about Scooby-Doo multiverse theory that I was really into. And Scooby-Doo's gonna die, you guys. You can donate on our Patreon. Just kidding.
It's
Don't go to our
fucking
Patreon.
save the fucking dog at Patreon.
Don't go to our Patreon. We're not updating it right now, so your money's just gonna disappear. You're not gonna get anything at the moment.
I kind of like sending my money into the void.
Oh, that's fair.
For a good idea.
I will make sure to announce when the Patreon is back up and running, though, so don't take that to mean it will never be up again. It just
there'll be a blimp in your local town with a sign. Good idea, Patreon.
Get it.
well, that'll be just like a small font written under the Geico banner that's flapping off the back of the plane because we won't be able to afford a full ad space. Clara, what was your pick of the week? Bradley, what have you looked up?
I mean, is that $50?
I know, right? It's so
Can someone tell me
expensive.
what's over there? I don't want to get up.
Lego of
or-
Shanghai architecture.
It's actually kind of cool. It curves. That one, you know?
What is the purpose of this?
I have
Lego
a
architecture.
$50 Starbucks
Starbucks.
Target gift card, which I can't buy another gift card to a different store for.
But you can buy some good Legos.
So I am looking at Lego sets currently.
Wait, no, there's a way you can do this.
They
You take the gift card, you buy something, immediately return it for in-store credit.
no, it doesn't work. They stopped me. The register. The woman was like, "You can't." I was like, "I must." And she's like, "You must buy Target."
The Target Defense Force.
You must buy within, and I was like, "No."
That's really sad,
It
Bradley.
was really
I can hear the pain in your voice. Like, do you
okay.
need to talk
Pick
about
of the weeks.
Anyway, my pick of the week, I started watching a YouTuber named Catherine Morgan. She used to be a soloist at the New York City Ballet, which is one of the best ballets in the country, and her stuff is pretty great. She goes through commentaries, stuff about being a ballet dancer, how to become one, debunking myths, all sorts of really interesting stuff.
There are
So
myths? Like the legendary
Yeah.
Yeti ballerina?
no,
No,
like myths about all ballet dancers only eat fruit once a day. They're really thin and they don't eat. That's one of the common.
I thought
ideas.
I thought there was specifically eating fruit once a day.
No, that was
Oh,
Anyway, I really enjoyed it. If you're into that very specific thing, it's pretty cool.
Well, hell yeah. Bradley, what about you? What's your pick of the week?
Go to Jared.
Jared?
Okay, I'm glad I'm glad I follow Clara because mine is also super niche and something I'm interested in, but the general public is maybe not. And my thing is going to be basically any book by a biographer named Robert Caro. It's technically biographies, so he did one of Robert Moses, who is a guy who single-handedly built the city of New York, and then they have a 4-volume set on Lyndon Johnson, which isn't finished but is amazing. And the reason they're good is that they are very in-depth, well-researched biographies, some of the best researched biographies that have been released in the past 100 years. But also they're really in-depth examinations about power and politics. So it's less about the idealistic theory and more how does shit actually happen? And very in-depth, what is power? How is it attained? How is it used? What does it do? How does it affect people? All this stuff. So any book by Robert Caro. He's
Okay.
awesome.
Very good.
All right, Bradley.
I haven't really had that much time to consume media, but my email got hacked. So my pick of the week is 2-step verification.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was get your email hacked. You get some really great emails that
Yeah.
way. They are very entertaining. I
Get
don't know what to tell
7
you.
penises now.
As in, change your password.
Yeah.
Your old one doesn't work. But continue.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much again for asking me about mine. My
You're welcome.
pick, there are 3 of you here. Bystander effect. Fuck you. That's what it is. It's the bystander.
We
effect.
could all actively bully you.
You know what? I think that's what we should do. I'm not going to be a bystander. I'm not going to let.
What is your pick of the week?
Thank you, Bradley. I feel so much more appreciated now. That was a rough couple minutes. I'm gonna have to recommend the Legend of Zelda porn parody. 2 in the link, 1 in the stink. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
You're kidding? That sounded like the greatest porn I will ever hear. Like that shit could move mountains.
I came up with that earlier today. I just thought it was really funny. Been thinking a lot about.
I'm totally opposed to this. The first boob I ever saw in my life was on this T-shirt sold by old Betty's hot dog house, featuring a naked. I'm currently attempting to buy it, featuring a naked devil woman. Yeah, baby. So let whatever Stark and the Walker would.
So any iteration of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
That's pretty good. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, though, fucking rad game. Didn't think I was going to like it very much when I started playing it last night or 2 nights ago or whatever. I think it was last night. Whatever it was, I don't fucking care, because what I do know is that I was playing it today and it's an extremely immersive and good experience, and I strongly recommend the game. I'm just about to get off that first island that you start on, and up till now it's been very interesting, and I think it only has more places to go from here.
Cameron also strongly recommends the game.
So
He's
there we
played
go.
37 hours of it in the past month.
Cameron's best friend would know.
Jeez.
I would know. I'm his best friend.
That is.
We have a very platonic but close relationship.
Jared and Cameron have a very, very sexual but very non-close relationship.
Yeah,
It's too
we
sexual
don't actually know each
for
other's
my
names.
taste.
You know, Cameron and I, we get together in a room.
Benefits without friends.
What can I say? The man's got a Moses beard going. It's worth it.
Hey, everybody. Again, thank you so much for listening. This has been a real blast. Clara and Jared, thank you for being here. I look forward to having you on the show again in the future. And give us a share. I know I said that earlier, but seriously think about doing it because it helps us out a whole bunch. And it makes me so happy to know that the stuff that we're doing is making people happy. So people aren't us happy, I should say, specifically. So the more people we're doing that for, the better. That was a good idea. You know, just because I don't know how to pronounce Legend of Zelda Stink of the Pink doesn't mean it's a bad game. We're done here.